I think that when you read that there are people from Sam Bankman-Fried's outfit that are out there trying to talk, whoever can get in line to speak to the U.S. attorney. I'm not saying Coinbase is necessarily involved with them. I'm just saying that whole, I like Mike Novogratz very much, but this whole thing is just, to me, a house of cards. And the NFT, I mean, does anyone really own NFT? I mean, I don't even know what to do with a fungible token. What do you do with a non-fungible token?
So what does this say? At 37.15, is there a bottom here for you?
Look, I mean, it bounced yesterday, had a very big bounce, but we're in a different kind of world now, and I think people realize that perhaps the whole thing was manipulated. I read John Stark, who was at 18 years in enforcement at SEC. He's a great follow, and he's saying, look, you got to get out of everything involved with this. There isn't anything that's not being manipulated. There isn't anything that's not going to be investigated. In the end, the SEC is going to come in and sweep everybody because Gary Gensler's had it. There were a lot of Republicans who were urging him to say, hey, listen, fintech is here to stay. I think he's had it. I don't think anyone should be in any of these. I think everything should be sold.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And we have Jim Cramer again saying, get out of crypto. Gary Gensler is coming. Everything should be sold. But guys, we do know regulation is coming, and we know 99% of these cryptos are going to be gone. The same way we watched in big tech. It's the same movie. We've seen this before. And we know Gary Gensler and Janet Yellen are chess pieces for the NWO. We know that Gary Gensler hasn't brought in regulation for a reason. He's kicking the regulation can down the road. He used the Ripple and SEC case. Now this year, regulation will be coming, and we know they start flipping switches in 2024 for this fourth industrial revolution. Now we have Mike Novogratz on 2023, and we know when the bear market is all about consolidation, we see Galaxy Digital buying up. And we know these big banks and big corporations were funding crypto from the beginning. And speaking of funding crypto from the beginning, we have Bill Gates' Microsoft may invest $10 billion in the chatbot. Now, guys, we know he invested $1 billion, and what's crazy is that I had this article inside of an old video that I had did speaking about how Microsoft was invested in crypto already, along with JP Morgan and the others. But Microsoft had invested $1 billion already back in 2019. So it should not be a surprise to us why it's getting so much attention. Now it's on CNBC. Now they're talking about hackers are going to use it. Guys, it's the same playbook, and this is how they're going to be moving in the robots, algorithms, and drones. And the NWO plans are always rolled out in phases. So therefore, they move the masses over without them even recognizing. And by the time they wake up, the machines would have taken over. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
What do you think now?
2022 was a grand washout, for growth stocks and for crypto. And so anything associated with it, especially that was growthy, that was, had big cost and revenue shrinking, got hammered as many of the crypto stocks did. I think CEOs, Brian, at Coinbase, and any rational CEO is doing the right thing. The outlook for crypto is not horrible, but it's not great. We've got regulatory, headwinds that we didn't have before. We've got time to heal and rebuild narrative. And so people are going to cut costs and survive this transition period. Crypto's not going away. What's been interesting is the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum has held pretty steady the last few months, and it's actually gone up in the last few days. If you had to sell, there was a lot of bad news out there, you sold. If you were leveraged, you got out of your leverage. And so it's a pretty clean market right now. There's still some overhangs, right? DCG and Genesis and Gemini, that will play out in the next quarter. That's not going to be great. I don't think it will include a lot of selling. It's just not good news. And so I think what we're trying to do at Galaxy, listen, we've bought a big mining facility in Texas. We bought a GK8, a security company, a self-custody company in Israel. We're leaning in where we think it's appropriate, but we're also sober, understanding that 23 is a year you want to survive and kind of catch the
Can
the
you go
uptick.
back to just because we haven't talked to you about this whole Gemini Genesis thing, and I know that for a lot of people who are not familiar with what's going on, they sound like they're the same thing. One is an exchange that's owned by the Winklevi twins. The other is effectively a loan outfit. I don't know what you described it, that's owned by Barry Silbert, and all of this has sort of come into question because the gates have gone up. What do you think happens eventually with all of this, and why do you think this won't create more forced selling if, in fact, the gates go down?
Well, listen, I think Genesis, in lots of ways, was our biggest competitor. They were far larger than Galaxy in lots of ways, in both lending and in trading. And, it appears they got themselves over their skis and had credit losses that they couldn't handle. They've got some loans from the parent company, and there's a lot of tension there.
Microsoft is reportedly in talks to invest $10 billion in OpenAI. That's the creator of ChatGPT, the app that has gone viral since its release last month. This would give OpenAI a $29 billion valuation. Semaphore first broke this story, and right now we've got the details from Semaphore business and finance editor Liz Hoffman. Liz, good morning. I mean, this is a big deal. They've put $1 billion in the past, but $10 billion, getting that kind of a valuation really amps this up.
It's crazy money. I mean, I think the biggest venture round before this is probably WeWork, right? $4 billion, which had everyone's head spinning. I think the right way to think about this is actually M&A. This is really, I mean, they're going to end up owning almost half of this thing for $10 billion, and it's really a strategic investment for them. So I think I would think about it more like an M&A deal than a venture round.
Do I understand the details right, that it's not...
Plans to invest $10 billion in OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, part of its quest to take search market share back from Google. The investment would give Microsoft 75% share of OpenAI's profits until it makes its investment back. 75% share of profits, after which Microsoft would have a 49% stake. The news website also doubling down on OpenAI's $29 billion valuation reported by the Wall Street Journal late last week. But the technology is not without risks, like these new reports that hackers are using ChatGPT to write code for malware because hackers are lazy too.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.